Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Funny Business Podcast. What's 9 plus 10? 21. It is episode 21. Matt, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. We're recording this on Labor Day, so it's kind of a nice little holiday celebration podcast thing. Not really, because, Mike had to work today, but...
Yeah, it's one of those things that we got to try to keep the safety of our students and just being able to finish the semester on time. And Matt, that just gives you more an excuse to graduate much earlier than expected.
Yeah, which is something I am looking forward to very much because I just can't wait for it to be over.
I can be with you right there on that, brother. But welcome back again to another episode of the Funny Business Podcast. We're going to get started with a quick little side note. Matt sent this to me today on Labor Day, and I felt like it was fair to bring it up very quickly because we were talking about gender reveals a couple episodes ago, just by how obnoxious some of them get as far as their height of overachieving the reason behind it, which was revealing your gender. And California has not been doing hot as far as wildfires in general, but naturally started fires by individuals, and you know where this is going. It's a gender reveal party actually caused a large wildfire in California. It was about 7,000 acres, Matt, and it forced hundreds of people to evacuate. Stupid.
This is one of those things where, if you live in California, there's a good chance there could be wildfires. So, don't be the reason a wildfire starts. Especially, we just talked about, Chad a few episodes ago, who saved his California house from a wildfire. This is one of those things where you got to be careful. I feel like people shouldn't be exploding anything in California just because of the high danger that, they live in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and as far as this, it had the pyrotechnic device. So, it basically, it went above and beyond the expectation of a gender reveal party going way too far. Matt, we've seen a helicopter gender reveal as far as them flying over the little pond and it turning the blue, and so many other ways. But this has just gone too far.
Yeah, like we said, they get too excessive and unnecessary. I understand it's a big deal. You want to find out the gender of your baby, but do it in a safe way. Don't put other people in danger. Don't put yourself in danger. Don't put your future child in danger. Kind of one of those things. Just be smarter, not stupider.
And plus, you would be that kid once they're born and they're actually in an adolescent stage. They could be like, yeah, my fun fact is my parents decided to burn down 7,000 acres in California because of my gender reveal. Instead of
you don't want to have that being the monkey on your back for your whole life. It's not a good way to start.
I mean, some people just say, yeah, I was an accident by my parents.
I don't know if that's worse or better.
I feel like the accident is much better than causing a wildfire.
Yeah, probably. It's a lot less endangering of other people.
We're not experts at this whatsoever,
No.
but I just feel like it's not. No.
Just be safe with your gender reveals. Do pop a balloon with confetti. That's
confetti,
cool.
Or those little shooter things that you could twist and they turn into. I guess it's chalk that comes out.
Yeah,
powder,
something like that. Or bake a cake and make the color of the inside of the cake and cut it into it. That's pretty cool. I think I actually remember a high school football recruit. I think that's how he chose his college. He had so I think he picked LSU or something.
Okay.
So he made the inside of the cake yellow and purple, and he cut into it on TV and revealed he was going to LSU by cutting into a cake.
Oh man.
That's pretty cool.
That cake cutting thing is still a trend, I think, right?
Oh my gosh, those are insane. I that video pops up every once in a while. I was like, how the hell do people do that? It's I can't even draw a straight line. These people can make cakes look like real figures. What the hell?
Same. So hopefully everybody's safe out there in California. If you are listening, to those people who decided to do that, don't do it again. But let's get into our topics for today, Matt. I've been seeing, we're talking about social media. I've been seeing a slight shift in the world of brands and brand collaborations with individuals. What I'm specifically referring to is the past 2 weeks. The first of all, Matt and I are huge Dunkin fans. Apparently, Matt loves the Dunkin where I live. Let me tell you, man.
That's the best Dunkin I've ever been to in my life.
Let me tell you, I went to a Dunkin' before I got onto one of the main highways before the turnpike. Such a beautiful Dunkin'.
Really?
They had the best mocha mix with the caramel. Ooh. Oh, I was living it, man.
I'm gonna have to try that one because the Dunkins by my house like suck. That's why I love like that Dunkin' so much, just because it's consistent every time.
Well, Matt, no matter what Dunkin' you go to, you may see a change in the menu because Charli D'Amelio, and for those who are living under a rock, Charli D'Amelio is the #1 most followed individual on TikTok at 16 years old, 16 or 17?
I believe she's 16, yes.
16 years old, just dances. You know, where the hell did we go wrong in our careers, Matt?
That's just how TikTok rolls.
Apparently.
That app's run by 16-year-olds anyway, so...
It's true. That's why they want to get rid of it. Which, by the way, I'm trying to find out.
Yeah, we got like 8 days left.
Okay.
As of this recording, we have 8 days. I thought of that today myself.
So we'll find out by next week when we start recording if TikTok is still a thing. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Charli D'Amelio and Dunkin' are actually collaborating, and Charli actually has her own drink on the menu called the Charli. And I forget what type of drink it was. It definitely was a cold brew.
Yeah, and I think it's iced coffee with whole milk and 3 pumps of caramel swirl, which really isn't like that far off as a drink. Like I get caramel iced coffee every time I go, so I'm like that's not too far off from my order. When I heard she was getting her own drink, I was expecting this big, like elaborate, ingredient list, and I was surprised.
Yeah, but also, Matt, what I've been seeing is that Travis Scott is actually collaborating with McDonald's too.
Oh, I did not see that.
So I believe, if I'm correct, Travis Scott has his own burger for McDonald's.
Really?
Yeah. So
wow.
What I've been really surprised by this, and why I wanted to bring it up today, is it seems as though the individual or the celebrity is taking more of what I should say clout rather than the brand reaching out to the individual for the recognition and for the brand collaboration. Because let's take a look at it this way. Michael Jordan and McDonald's. It wasn't necessarily that Michael Jordan was announcing, hey, I'm collaborating with McDonald's. It was more so we saw that in the latter half where McDonald's was collaborating with Michael Jordan in a commercial. So I'm just very curious, and I kind of have an understanding as to why this is happening, but at the same time, I kind of want to hear your thoughts.
Well, I think it's definitely something we're going to be seeing going on in the future, because as we see, like Charli's 16 years old and she's just starting this now. Who knows what's going to be happening 5 years from her, depending whatever her life takes her, whatever path she goes on. But I'm not surprised businesses are going towards this, because I feel like celebrities now, I don't know if this makes any sense, but I feel like they're a lot more popular now than they were like 10 years ago. And it can be like any celebrity. And it's probably just because of social media. You know, we get to see their viewpoints on anything they want to tweet about or post about, or, videos that they create on YouTube and stuff like that. So, and people get a strong attachment to these celebrities. So having Charli have her own drink, she has like, I think 70 million followers on TikTok, something around that. Like if she promotes that for herself, not only is she promoting the business, but she's also able to promote herself too. So it's a nice kind of like combination that the two can have. We've also seen like Ninja. Like Ninja he gets his own Fortnite skin. I saw today he tweeted out he has his like limited edition champagne or something like that that's coming out.
What?
Yeah, he tweeted it. I don't know if it was like a Ninja champagne, but the box says like Ninja edition or something like that. It was really weird, but it makes sense that companies are trying to use these celebrities to kind of gain their own clout in a certain way.
Interesting. So I think I'm just looking at it. The brand bottle. Oh God, excuse my pronunciation. It's Dom Perignon.
Yes,
Perignon.
I think that's pretty close to how it's
and
pronounced.
It's, Matt, you might be right, because it literally says Ninja Edition.
I know.
Like, I'm not trying to doubt you, but it's
the bottle doesn't look too different, but the actual box says like Ninja Edition. Mm-hmm. Which is, I don't know. I didn't know Ninja was big into champagne. That was breaking news to me.
Dude loves to freaking pop off, literally.
Well, yeah, he does drink like quite often during his live streams.
Which I'm still upset, Matt. We haven't come to a conclusion as far as what he's trying to do to live stream, because we've seen him in so many exclusive things where he's done like live streams, which is Among Us, which would be a fabulous game if we had more friends, because that would be even a great game to play. But he's playing with like some of the other top rated streamers, but he's not streaming himself. Like he'll post on his YouTube account, but he's
Yeah.
not streaming himself.
Yeah, it's a little annoying. I just want him. I want to be able to watch him again.
Well, I think you're right, Matt. The celebrities have gained a little bit more attention than the brands itself. And I think in order for the brand to step further, they have to be in touch with some of these celebrities that have a following within that. And I think you're right. It's more celebrities have a bigger voice now because of the communication between their fans and themselves. But like what I think with Charlie's 16 years old, and I don't know, I think it just may be a me thing. I really didn't start drinking coffee until I was like in college.
Yeah, that's the same with me.
So I think for like, yes, I think understandably Charlie drinks a lot of Dunkin', and that may be something because of the family brought up or whatnot. Not that it's bad or good. It's just that I don't think it was placed specifically in a correct brand agreement in the sense that she wasn't looking at her audience, and now just because she loves Dunkin', they got her to get a drink and get some type of brand deal and more FaceTime with the Dunkin'.
Yeah, I was always wondering what company was going to be the first to like jump on her bandwagon, and it was kind of surprising to see Dunkin' because you don't really think of like high school kids like drinking a lot of coffee.
Yeah.
But I think in the long run, it's probably going to work out. I mean, we've seen back to the social media like Hulu.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen like a Hulu commercial?
Hulu has
Live sports. They have everybody, but not only do they have the commercials for it, like these guys are tweeting about it. Like they'll change their profile picture for a day for Hulu. They have Aaron Judge, Saquon Barkley, Damian Lillard. They have other big names that I'm forgetting off the top of my head. Yeah, I think Joel Embiid. Yep. So we're seeing the collaboration between them, but they're also using their platform to, promote the company's brand as well.
Now, I'd be excited to see what collaboration happens. Let me ask you this. What would be an unusual, now I'm going to say it's not a perfect fit, an unusual collaboration with a big brand company, with a celebrity?
With a celebrity? That's a tough one. Maybe...
Do you want me throwing out?
Yeah, throwing out there.
Steve-O and an insurance company.
Oh my gosh, that would be insane. Could you imagine? That would actually be like pretty smart. Like, because Steve-O is just an absolute nutcase. But that would be like David Blaine with an insurance company too.
Yeah, that too.
Did you see the thing he's doing now? He's like floating up with like 52 helium balloons. I don't know how long he's staying up there.
I think he's down by now.
Oh, is he?
By the time of this recording.
I think he was just going up like 5 miles or something like that.
But still, by balloons.
Yes.
Like, no safety harness whatsoever.
No.
Like,
guy's a maniac.
I mean, he regurgitates frogs from his stomach anyway, so.
Yeah, he's... I don't even want to get into him. Don't even want to get into him. It's just a topic for another time.
Yes, absolutely. Did you think of any unusual brand collaboration?
I honestly, maybe like J.R. Smith and like water, because he's just like drunk all the time. But actually, no, J.R. Smith and like a clothing company, because after he won the championship with the Cavs, I don't think he put a shirt on for like 2 months after that. J.R. Smith, we don't deserve J.R. Smith. No, he is a national treasure.
We really, really don't. But hopefully we could talk about some things in the sports topics as far as the NBA playoffs and how they're going. But Matt, I know you got some. But Matt, kind of flipping over, we're going to flip topics. Matt and I, huge video game fans. Matt has been enjoying Fall Guys, has recently got one of his best friends on Fortnite, so we may actually be seeing some trio action with some of a mutual best friend, I should say.
Yes.
But it's so exciting because what we've also discovered, Matt, is that Nintendo is actually re-releasing in a bundle Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy to the Nintendo Switch. Oh my gosh, childhood eruptions flowing. I was so, I mean, even Matt was, I think I sent it to you via Facebook Messenger, and I was like, Matt, this is happening.
This is so dope.
I kind of, Matt, I know with us, with childhood, I think we talked about it again. We're kind of like recycling topics in a weird way, but has Mario been like one of those things that you've constantly played up until like your age today?
Yeah, I mean, we used to play Mario Party with like my family, like with me and my cousins, like all on the Nintendo Cube or the GameCube. All the Mario games, like Sunshine, it was one of the favorite games I ever played. It was the storyline's a little like out there, but
Yeah, a
like
little bit.
the game is like so much fun to play. Super Mario Galaxy is awesome for the Switch. Super Mario Odyssey, super fun.
Yes.
Mario Kart is always a banger. Like Mario games are just so consistent.
Yeah, I was brought up by the video game with a Nintendo 64. Did you have a Nintendo 64?
I did not. No.
Yeah,
That was the one
so
thing I
I
didn't
had.
have.
My parents had a Nintendo 60. I don't think it was for me. I think that was when the boom was happening, when like video games were just introduced. So you
Yeah.
had like people of all ages buying them. So I think my parents bought the Nintendo 64, and Super Mario 64 was on it. And let me tell you, Matt, I am not as explorative is the best. I'm not an exploring individual when it comes to video games.
Okay.
I only wanted to do one level, and that was the Goomba Island with the first, literally Bomb Bomb Island. I think that's what it was.
I think
literally
so,
the
yeah.
first world you were able to go to in 64. Only wanted to go in there, never wanted to go anywhere else. And then if I had to face against Bowser, I could not do it because I was too scared to do it.
Even now, like I'll play a game and it's like too scary. I don't want to get into that. Like sometimes I just like playing a relaxing game, you know.
Yeah.
But this edition that they're coming out with is I would pay so much money to have this.
And it's actually in a pretty competitive price. You can actually pre-order it today, and it's the same level as the other Switch games that you would purchase.
Oh, okay,
But,
that's not bad.
at the time of this recording for the podcast, I believe it's going out on the 17th, so that's actually the following week. But what I've been seeing a lot is people not complaining, but people kind of cross-referencing the game in which its original platform came on and then the Nintendo Switches. Just seeing the graphic design difference as far as, is it going to be better quality when I play on the Switch? Is there going to be better? What I really hope for, Matt, is that there's actually Easter eggs in these editions. Like there's somewhat of a weird Easter egg that you can play and be a part of within that itself.
I think that's probably going to be the case because Nintendo knows a lot of people are going to be buying this game, and they know some people are going to want to see the upgrades, but there's also going to be people that want it to be kind of similar. So I think it's going to be somewhere in between because they don't want to, piss off a giant part of their fan base.
What's crazy to me is that people are so excited about a game that they played many years ago, and there's no add-on, like they call it downloadable content or DLC as it is. Like, there's nothing new to the game. The same concept, same thing you have to achieve, but people are wanting to buy this again, which absolutely just astonishes me just based on how many times Nintendo can just recycle a game and be able to send it out and say, oh yeah, we got it for Switch now, and then everybody wants to buy it. Like Animal Crossing, so many people were freaking out over Animal Crossing during quarantine because they were able to play it again.
Could you imagine if they would have released this during quarantine? How many people would be playing this 24/7?
Matt, I would... believe me, I would probably not be playing Fortnite as much as we did because if it was
probably.
quarantine.
Like, I'm absolutely going to get this. But you make an interesting point saying, like, the games haven't really changed. But then there's people that buy NBA 2K every single year when really the only thing that changes is rosters. Like, 2K21 already came out, and people are, like, going crazy about it, which is weird to me because the rosters aren't even different because they didn't have the offseason yet.
Yeah, that was kind of a backdoor thing for me. I didn't realize 2K21 came out not too long ago. Like I feel like it was like weeks or last week even that
it was
that
last week,
it.
I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm very surprised. You make a great point with that with 2K, but it's so concrete with Super Mario. Like 2K is a little different because rosters change, graphics improve a little bit. My player kind of adds a different story to it, but like Super Mario from start to finish, there's no difference whatsoever. Or Sunshine. Or even Galaxy. Like,
Yeah,
all three of them.
I think the Mario games are the one series that can kind of get away with that just because they're so popular and people haven't played them in years that they might not remember how to do every single thing. So it's going to be a little competitive for them.
Well, what's funny to me, Matt, is the amount of, let's just say, storyline that each of these games have. Everything that Super Mario has in common is you literally start out in the beginning and you lead up to beating Bowser in all three of these games.
Yeah, it never fails. Like they could make so many games with like basically the same storyline, but like change like a little bit of the gameplay or like change the storyline a little bit. But if it starts with Mario and it ends with Bowser, people are gonna buy it.
And just so everybody knows that one TikTok that has a very springy song did not come from TikTok. It came from Super Mario Sunshine at Delfino Plaza. So
I don't
Yes,
remember.
it did.
I don't think I know which one you're talking about. Yes, that's right. Yes. Oh my gosh. I didn't even think about that. I did. Wow, you just blew my mind right now.
Thank you.
Holy
Thank
shit.
you. Thank you very much.
Holy shit.
You didn't know that?
No, I had
Matt,
no idea.
you said you love Sunshine.
I did, but I didn't I haven't played the game in like 10, 15 years. I didn't even remember.
The soundtrack for Sunshine
yes.
is a banger.
I don't remember the exact songs, but I just remember playing that game for like hours at a time.
Even when you beat the game, like you still just wanted
Yeah.
to go to the islands and like clean everything up or whatnot.
Yeah,
like,
I actually haven't even beat Super Mario Odyssey yet on the Switch. I have to like work on that.
Yeah, you got to, man.
I'm on the moon level and I can't get past it. Like I saved Peach, but like you have to. There's like extra space like level in the moon. It's so tough.
It's the darker side of the moon, baby.
Yes, yeah,
That's tricky.
it is. I used to try it like hours a day, and then I just stopped because I just kept getting pissed off. Like I couldn't handle it.
Well, maybe Matt, I'll coach you through it, and hopefully we could,
Yeah.
we could achieve it by the next time. So, for those Super Mario fans, be ready for it next week if you do own a Nintendo Switch. But Matt, moving on to the last topic for today, I had a weird story that brought up, and I actually put it in my reminders to make it a topic when we got, and actually it happened to me last Thursday when I was driving. So Matt, I was driving, and I looked to my left. I was passing the Burger King on the right, just so you can reference where I'm looking at.
Yep.
I looked to my left, and there's the plastic surgery office.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm familiar with that place. Their signs are very interesting.
So I drove a little bit farther, and I saw tents next to the plastic surgery office. And I thought to myself, I'm like, wait a minute, no,
I don't
it's
like
not.
where this is going.
No, it's not. But what, this is why I had to tell you the story. But it's a very weird how it's all backed up in that corner there. So that actually was a separate parking lot.
Okay.
In comparison to the real parking lot, which was the plastic surgery office. But what got me to think to make it a topic for today is businesses that would be weird if they had outside businesses. Now, during the pandemic, of course, restaurants have tried to improvise in adding outdoor seating because that is most recommended by the state and by the government. So I just thought to myself, I'm like, that would be freaking weird if you had a plastic surgery outdoors. If you had to do plastic surgery outdoors.
Yeah, that would not be pretty. So medical, I think, is any medical procedure would be pretty weird outside, especially guys. If you get a prostate exam, that would be. I don't think I'd want to do that right now if that was in a tent outside the doctor's office, because I'd be. I don't know. I'm not. Never mind. Yeah, prostate exams would be number one top weirdest thing on the list, and we've already seen drive-through strip clubs.
We have.
That would be pretty weird if there was just under a tent outside. Kids or parents are driving by with the kids Mommy, what's that? Son, don't look. Close your eyes.
Not that I want to bring up a subject, but what about an autopsy? Autopsy stuff.
That'd be pretty weird.
The coroner's office. Let's put it that way.
that would be weird. What else would be weird? I feel what if you had this isn't super weird, but you know how those pop-up Halloween stores come up?
Like Halloween City?
Yeah. What if you had to try how would you try them on outside?
Oh.
Yeah. Because then
that's weird.
Yeah, because you don't think about that, but when you buy a Halloween costume, you don't know if anyone else tried it on. So then if you're outside watching people try it on, I don't think that would help me pick out a costume.
Yeah, that's
be a weird one.
We're going down the rabbit hole with this one.
I'm just coming up. This is the things that just come off the top of my head. First of all, that I don't filter through. I just say them.
What about a spa? Like a massage?
What kind of, oh yeah. Well,
so
yeah, that'd be kind of weird. Yeah, I was thinking spa hair salon, but that would actually be kind of cool. But yeah, definitely getting a spa wouldn't be the best, or a massage.
Mm-hmm. I've been very fortunate enough to get some spa time, I guess is the best way to put it. And just it's dark, there's no windows whatsoever, and you're in these rooms, and it's kind of very much secluded. It's kind of just tucked in the back. You don't have to worry about anybody coming up and being oh my gosh, and you're in robes too. You're not butt
Right.
naked. But
Right.
as far as getting into this, the massage area, as far as getting your massage done, like you have to get into the bed, and of course you're naked if you feel that comfortable.
Yep.
Just getting in there and getting the massage done, I feel like I'd feel a little weird getting out of that.
That'd be dicey. Or like a chiropractor, like someone's just cracking your back
Just
in the middle of the public. That'd be weird to drive by and see that. Like, what the, like, is that guy supposed to be doing that? Like, is he in danger or what's going on there?
What about a dentist?
Dentist would be weird too. Yeah. Someone's just going to, like, checking your teeth and scraping in there and brushing it and flossing it. Could you imagine you're driving by a dentist office and you just see, like, dental hygienist, like, flossing someone's teeth?
Or like filling a cavity or something like that.
Yeah. Getting braces put on.
Oh,
You're
man.
outside for, like, 2 hours. Oh,
Wisdom teeth. Getting your wisdom teeth removed.
that would be insane.
God, could you imagine waking up and like all of a sudden you're outside and you're like, what happened?
Yeah,
Like,
that'd be crazy. You're just high on meds. Like, you're like, some people like hysterically cry after a wisdom teeth surgery. That'd be freaky.
I didn't cry as much. I mean, I chucked because I was dizzy and
Yeah.
driving, and it just didn't.
I actually had a good experience. I was at my cousin's like 40th birthday party the next day. Now I wasn't eating like regular food, but I was eating applesauce. But
that it makes me so crazy how some people have these quick recoveries, and then here's me who had to take like weeks because I got an infection. Like I was not about it. Like,
that is the worst.
it was horrible.
No, yeah, I was luckily like in and out quick, and I was good in like a few days. But
Good for you, man.
yeah,
Last one. What do you think?
what about like school? Like all day school, not just like your professor's like, let's have class outside.
Yeah, I feel like I'd be stuck on that concept where like professors are just like, let's have class outside.
Yeah, but like having school out all day would kind of suck, especially if it's a windy day. And then when you do go back inside, then having class outside isn't going to be as fun because you did it for like so often.
No, not at all.
Do you have any others?
I feel like the last one would be, I'm like thinking like medical. Like that's,
Anything medical.
what
Like
about an adult
colonoscopy.
store?
Yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one. Like yes, like
A
yeah, I know what you're
bookstore,
talking about.
adult bookstore.
Or even like just an adult store. Fun fact: I was in New York City once with some friends,
I was in there.
and we went to like this adult store that's kind of near like Times Square, kind of like near like Rockefeller Center.
Yep.
And we went in, and we were just like looking at stuff, and for some reason, one of us picked up like, I'm not gonna be weird, but they picked up a vibrator.
Okay, that's not weird.
It turned on. We couldn't turn it off. So we're like hitting this thing on the table. Like, how the hell you turn this off? So at one point I was like, all right, we just got to put it down and walk away. So we put it down, like falls off the stand and starts like vibrating on the floor. And we just like booked it out of there. It was one of the funniest things I've ever experienced in my life.
That is a more perfect New York story to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. That could only happen in New York City.
Oh man. Well, if you're a plastic surgery place, please don't consider doing outside services because that would just be weird.
Or consults. Just don't have any part of your business outside. Keep it inside. No one wants to see that.
We're totally for people having business, people having, advancing in their business and getting profit based on their business and,
Yes.
following directions and following orders, but don't
We don't
make it
need
awkward.
to see it. Like, you can
Don't
do
make
it,
it awkward.
but we don't need to see it.
Well, Matt, hopefully we could actually start doing some inside business and more funny business. But, that's going to wrap up today's entertainment topics. When we come back, Matt has his sport topics. Don't go anywhere. Matt, I got to tell you, I am so happy we're continuing to make more episodes for our podcast.
You're so right, Mike. I really am enjoying hearing how awesome each episode is every week from everyone. It's so easy to do.
It is so easy. And we have Anchor, our sponsor for this episode, to thank for. Anchor is free to anyone that wants to start a podcast. It's easy for beginners with the creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. It also helps distribute our podcasts so our listeners can tune in to their platform of choice, like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more.
And Mike, I got to tell you, I was skeptical before, but we actually are making a profit off this podcast. We are still a small podcast, But it's nice to see the progress we have made with each episode with that money.
Yes, we are making it rain. Kind of. Anchor is everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's anchor.fm.
And who knows, you may start a podcast with your best friend.
That's right. Roommates for life. Now back to the podcast.
Okay, let's slide into the sports segments for today. We are going to start off with football because, believe it or not, as of the release of this episode on the Friday, yesterday was the opening game of the NFL season, which just flew by. Like, football season came up out of nowhere. I think it was because there was no preseason. Like, we weren't able to watch preseason games, and no one was really keeping up with practices other than, like, how many people were testing positive for COVID, which their numbers have actually been pretty good. They had one incident where there was a lab in New Jersey that brought back, like, 100 false positives. But other than that, like, their testing's been good.
I just really hope you don't jinx it, Matt, by saying it today at our recording, and then all of a sudden Friday you're kind of like, oh yeah, like football.
You know what?
Like
that
Wednesday.
would be the most funny business thing of all time. I wouldn't doubt it. So opening game was, or is, as of recording this, the Texans Chiefs.
Hopefully,
I'm gonna say the Chiefs won. I'm not gonna even. I'll give a score like 31-20. 31-20 Chiefs. It is Patrick Mahomes versus Deshaun Watson. They both got huge contracts in the offseason. Watson just signed last week for 4 years, $160 million, and Patrick Mahomes got like a $500 million contract, which is absolutely insane.
No surprise.
To start off football for the season, what better way than Andy Reid, the Chiefs head coach? What a guy indeed. He is a funny dude because he's not only a good football coach, but he loves his food. And after he won the Super Bowl, let me find the exact quote. He talked about how he was going to celebrate the Super Bowl with something that most people probably wouldn't be. That would be a cheeseburger. He said he was just going to ask if he was going to sleep with the Super Bowl trophy. He said, no, I'm going to go sleep with my trophy wife, and he's going to eat the cheeseburger.
I'm not surprised. I mean, dude, I actually, fun fact, not really fun fact, but funny how it's so, what do you call it? It's convenient. No.
Conveniently.
It's
convenient.
No.
Yeah.
Ironically.
There we go.
Ironically, I had a cheeseburger today for lunch.
There we go. I'm having cheeseburgers tonight for Labor Day.
Dude, like, having a Burt cheeseburger after doing something so fantastic, like,
yeah.
I just don't see how you can't be able to enjoy yourself with a nice cheeseburger.
Absolutely. So Andy Reid was doing an interview before the season started, and someone asked him how he's been enjoying being a Super Bowl champion. And they asked him specifically about his ring. And he goes, you wear it for special occasions, or if you want a free cheeseburger, you just point it right there and show him, and you might just get one. This man lives for cheeseburgers. Like, I don't even think he enjoys football that much. I think he just likes it so he can eat cheeseburgers.
That sounds illegal in so many ways, as far as him using a Super Bowl ring as a way for free cheeseburgers.
I mean, that's probably not the worst thing someone's done to do or to get with a Super Bowl ring or a trophy or something.
Well, I mean, you could be like the Pats owner for a happy ending at a massage place.
Yep, he probably used the Super Bowl ring to get into there too. That's a good point. And I mean, you see the guys like in the Stanley Cup. We'll get to hockey later on, but the Stanley Cup, guys like get a day with the Stanley Cup, and guys like pee into it. They eat cereal out of it. Like, that cup has seen some stuff. But this has to be one of the funniest things. Like, if you won a Super Bowl ring, what would you use it for? Like, if there's one thing you're trying to get for free, like, I feel like I'm not going to use it for a cheeseburger.
Moe's.
That's not where I was going with either, but that's a good idea. Like, I'm using it to, like, get into places and see people and do stuff like that. I'm not using it for food.
That's societal things, man. I'm thinking more materialistic.
But Moe's is like $10 for a meal.
Yeah, so is like,
I mean, if you're
300 Super Bowl rings put together.
If you're getting like, a year's supply of Moe's, then that'd be worth it. But like, I feel like he can get a free cheeseburger anywhere because he's a Super Bowl champion.
But like you have to get like a specific cheeseburger somewhere. Like you can't just go to like, I mean, yeah, McDonald's is great, but like you can't just go to McDonald's and just get a cheeseburger just because you're wearing a Super Bowl ring.
I
Like,
hope he didn't just go to McDonald's.
you gotta. I feel what's like a you gotta like go to Shake Shack or something like that.
Yeah,
Like,
Whataburger, Smash
Whataburger,
Burger. Smash
Smash
Burger's
Burger.
pretty good. Or you go to like a Guy Fieri restaurant and get one
right?
of those burgers.
Michelin star, like
Yes.
all these good things. But
Yeah.
I hope he's using his ring for good and not for evil.
That seems like he is. At least good for him getting a cheeseburger. So I'm glad football is back. We're gonna have, I think, for the first time in a while, all four sports playing on the same day. That's gonna be pretty epic. But let's move on to another sport here in basketball. So basketball playoffs resumed last weekend, and it was a pretty entertaining week. So the Celtics Raptors has probably been the best series of the playoffs so far. It is 2-2 as of now. I think it's a toss-up. I mean, both teams are playing very well, and I think both teams have a very good shot to make the finals. I would probably give the edge to the Celtics in this series. Like I thought they were going to make the finals before the whole playoffs started. But the Raptors are scrappy. Like they're a very good team, and they're obviously not just the one-hit wonder last year with Kawhi.
Yeah, I mean, I know we'll probably be talking about the Bucks a little bit later, but I feel like this bubble, anything can happen inside this bubble, and it's certainly one of those aspects. It's almost turning into college. Like it's almost turning into like college where like literally anything can happen. Like as far as the Celtics rappers, the Toronto Rappers
By Drake.
by Drake.
Unintentional.
But you know, as let's talk about the Celtics rappers. I did it again.
Did it
Oh my
again. I
god!
thought you did it on purpose that time.
Rap tours. Toronto decided to run away with the game with 0.7 seconds left with a 3-point field goal to end the game against the Celtics. Like you don't have those games at all, and even with 0.7 seconds. I thought it was a little bit of a fluke, if I'm being completely honest, because you can't, unless you're already in the shooting motion, you cannot get a 3-pointer off in 0.7 seconds, even if the pass is absolutely perfect.
I agree. It was definitely locked in. Did you see the pass that Kemba did before that to hit the layup?
Yes.
That was insane. Like
was
no
pretty
look
insane.
bounce pass to the center. That was pretty cool.
That was cool.
You mentioned the Bucks. Let's bring up the Bucks. The Bucks, they stink.
They're
not good. Go ahead. What do you think?
Okay, so last night, Sunday night, which was the 6th, they were playing, and the Bucks actually won, so they actually got a notch under their belt. And Antetokounmpo was out with a sprained ankle.
Yeah.
That like once I saw that on Twitter, I'm like, well, it's all over here. But so many other players came up and decided to just take on just the burden of them doing well as far as that. And who are they playing with against? I forget.
The Heat.
The Heat. Why did I not? Yeah, Jimmy Buckets. Jimmy Buckets is playing.
Yes, it's a great nickname.
I just don't understand. Like, they have such a well-seasoned team, the Heat, and they just can't capitalize on the fact of them losing their star player. And it's kind of worrisome because talking about the Lakers, you know, as far as that, like they won last night too, but Russell Westbrook had a horrible game.
Bad.
James Harden was almost on lockdown defense most of the time.
Yeah.
I just feel like you can't count them out just yet until the fourth quarter when we see the score of the Heat and Bucks game, as well as, you know, with the Lakers and the Rockets, which to me confuses me. Why is the Eastern Conference so much farther ahead than the Western Conference as far as the rounds played?
It was because the Rockets went 7 games and
Yes.
Denver went 7 games.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I mean the Bucks Heat series has been insane. Like I have the box score for Game 4. I think I have it for Game 4. Yeah, the Heat won 115-111. They outscored the Bucks 40-13 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, jeez.
That's insane. And Jimmy Butler's been playing well. I still think the Heat close it out. And Antetokounmpo is questionable for Game 5. Yeah, Game 5. We'll see if he played or not. But it's like the Bucks were the best team in the league, like the whole season. And then it just seems like since they got to the bubble, they just don't have the same energy, or they're not into it, or something's up. But like you said, anything can happen in the bubble. and the Heat are just, it's like a March Madness tournament, kind of. Like everybody's traveled to Orlando. You stay where you're at, and you just play basketball.
Big bubble energy, man.
Yeah, big bubble energy. And you brought up the
BB.
Lakers. The Lakers might be in a little bit of trouble. I think they're still going to pull this out, but they did not play well game one, and they played great in the second half of game two, or in the first half of game two. Second half was a little dicey to start off. Rockets scored like 14 straight points to start the third. I think this series is going to go 7.
Yeah, either 6 or 7, I think, dependent upon that. Just because the Lakers need to close out. I think that's what I saw last night's game, was just how well they closed out the game, even though they almost lost a very significant league. Well, thanks a lot, Siri. I'm glad you thought that wasn't nice.
Jesus,
oh my God.
Siri.
Wow. Siri, do you want to say
rude.
something? Jerk.
Rude. Jeez. But yes, I mean, the Rockets are going to make it competitive. I just don't understand why the Lakers don't put in LeBron, Anthony Davis, and Dwight Howard and force the paint every time. The Rockets are starting a 6'5" center. He's 6'5". Anthony Davis is like 7 foot. Put him in the post.
I think it's because they have more of a concentration on the backcourt or the front court, the point guards, the shooting guards.
Backcourt.
The backcourt.
Yes.
The backcourt, you have James Harden and Russell Westbrook. So those two have phenomenal games. You're going to have to go out, and then, of course, that's going to open up the lower. So that's a tough call. As a coach, I feel like that'd be such a tough call for me to be like, well, do we like have our best defense out in the backcourt and then just hopefully cross our fingers with the front court? Or why don't you just load everybody up, because it's the playoffs and like you should be playing the way you should be playing, and that's full force.
Yeah, I get the defensive part, but if there are the Lakers on offense, like nobody can guard Anthony Davis in the post. No one. Just give it to him every time. They'll score like 50.
God.
Like they keep playing this perimeter ball, and I just don't understand. Like you're playing into the Rockets' favor by playing perimeter offense. Throw it in the post. Put LeBron in the post. LeBron's amazing in the post. I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me. I'm also not a big Rockets fan because they have Mike D'Antoni, and he didn't really win in Phoenix when we had Stoudemire and Nash. And I just like I want to kind of see him do good, but I don't know how I'd feel if he won a ring somewhere else as a Suns fan.
I respect that, but even though your buddy Steve Nash is now a Brooklyn Nets guy now,
he is now, came out of nowhere too. Just Steve Nash getting hired by the Nets out of left field. Let's move on to hockey and baseball a little bit. So my Flyers are done. It was an ugly Game 7, very ugly Game 7. I was hyped because we watched the Kentucky Derby, and I didn't actually put money on it, but the horse that I said was going to win won. So I was like, oh, this is great. Flyers are going to do great. And they just shit the bed. It was very ugly.
I sent Matt a text as soon as I saw the final horn because Jenna's dad was watching it, and I texted him. I was like, I'm so sorry for your loss.
Yeah, that was... This was like the first season I actually got attached to a team in the playoffs. And Game 7, my anxiety was like very high, like through the roof. Like I was not prepared for it. Like every shot I was like, oh my God, like that almost went in. Oh, what a save. And it was incredible. Like I'm actually excited for next season for hockey already, if that makes any sense, because we just lost.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's going to come up here before you know it, but even with hockey, I've noticed something with that game with the Flyers and the Islanders. The Flyers looked, and I hate to say it, Matt, they looked very desperate when it came to trying to get some type of offense started. Like it looked like that was the first time, because I've watched hockey a couple times, but a couple, 2, 3 times, as they would say in the North and the Northeast PA. But they just seemed so desperate running the puck up to the offensive third and trying to score. So I was like, man, they're so desperate. But at the same time, I completely understood.
It was weird. They were playing defense like the whole game. Like they barely had like offensive possessions, and it's tough to score like that.
Mm-hmm.
The other news, baseball, the Yankees stink. Like they actually stink. Like they might not make the playoffs stink. And I'm going to be very upset if they make the playoffs, but I keep telling myself this year is so weird that if they don't win this year, who cares?
I saw that if baseball ended today, Yankees would be in the 8th seed, and they would go up against I think it was
the Tampa
Rangers.
Bay. I think it was Tampa Bay. Yeah, who Tampa Bay's been kicking their ass all season. Yeah, they can't stay healthy. Now, they're not even like that injured anymore. Like Judge is injured, Stanton's injured. Other than that, the whole lineup's back. Gary Sanchez sucks. Like, he actually got benched. He sucks. Like, I don't want him on the team next year. He can't play defense. He has a good arm, but he can't hit. He's hitting like 150. He's useless. They have no pitching other than Garrett Cole, who's been getting roughed up lately. Yeah. Like, it's so frustrating to watch him.
Well, you can't have a pitcher do everything for you.
No,
like, Garrett Cole's great, but you can't have him win the game for you.
Yeah, especially when he's only giving up like 2 runs a game and you can't even score 1. Right. They had a game a few days ago. They had 1 run, 3 hits, and 2 errors. You're not even going to be competitive if you keep playing like that.
No,
it's so frustrating. Sucks because the Yankees. I mean, we expect them to be good every year. And I know they're good. That's the thing. Like, this roster is good, but they just can't put it together right now. Mm-hmm. Last sports topic for today is tennis. Have we ever talked tennis on the show before?
I don't think we have.
I don't think we have either. And it's probably because neither of us really pay attention to tennis much. But Novak Djokovic made the news a couple days ago in the U.S. Open. He was frustrated with a shot that he had or how he was playing, something like that. And he went to hit the ball back to the ball girl, the line judge, I believe is what it's called. And he kind of like hit it hard at her. Wasn't looking. Yeah, he did. And he hit her right in the throat. And she went down. She had to leave the court. And they actually, I never heard of this term before, but they defaulted him from the tournament. So basically he got kicked out. Mm-hmm. He was a little upset with it. And I don't agree with him in a way, but I understand where he's coming from. Because we've seen tennis have a history of tennis players barking at the officials, going at the officials in major tournaments. I mean, John McEnroe became famous from tennis because, 1, he was good, but 2, he used to lay out the officials. Serena Williams, a few years ago, was berating the official in the championship at the U.S. Open when that scenario was a little different.
Yeah, I'd have to back you up on that because Serena got a heck of a lot more flack for barking at the official than a male did. And, like, I'm not going to play the whole, like, male to female ratio, but there was something different with that. And, like, I think, okay, let's focus on the line judge specifically. The line judge did nothing. Like, all they're meant for, I think, is in the back to make sure that, if the ball's out of bounds, it's out. If it's in, it's in. All these things. So, like, Jokic had no correlation to said line individual.
Right.
But that main official that sits up at the top is almost the same official as the home base umpire. Mm-hmm. Almost the same official as the head referee for an NBA game. There's so many things where, like, I think it just frazzles me when, like, players are arguing with the referee and, like, they're not going to change the call because you're arguing with them. Like, and yeah, you can make your case, you can make your point in saying, dude, like, that maybe isn't right. Maybe it should be this call instead. But, like, I'll take LeBron, for example. I love LeBron, but, like, the dude likes to complain so much, and especially when it's crunch time, because it always has to be there's one wrong play, and LeBron's hands up or hands out to J.R. Smith because he didn't shoot the ball correctly, but didn't shoot when there was time left on the clock. But, I feel bad for the lady that got hit, and it's just an indirect form of retaliation from Jokic.
I do feel bad for her, and, like, I don't want to come off and, like, defending him. I'm not. The only thing I can see his point is the other players that have done this in the past didn't get kicked out of the tournament. He did. That's the thing. Like, There's no, like, baseline to say, like, this is going to be the first baseline. Like, if another player does hit a judge with a ball, he's got to get tossed. So this is kind of like maybe a historic day in tennis. Like, he should get crap for it because he shouldn't have done that. But it also wasn't his intent. Like, I think he did it on accident. And we've seen guys intentionally bark at the referee, and they'll get a point deduction, but they don't get kicked from the tournament.
Right.
That's the only confusion that I had of this whole thing. It doesn't seem like there's any consistency.
That's why we need robots as refs.
No, I'm totally against robots as refs, especially in baseball and any sport. I want to go back real quick because I forgot to do something. And I think, Mike, you know what I forgot to do?
I was a little concerned.
Yeah, I didn't have it pulled up in front of me. So going back to basketball, we're going to play Who Tweeted. So I have 2 tweets, both from the same person. I'll read you the first one. You can guess. And if you don't, I'll read the second one. It is a former basketball player.
They're both from the same person.
Both from the same person.
Okay.
I'm going to start off with a tweet from the Jazz Nuggets series.
Okay.
Here's the tweet. I'm so excited for Denver versus Utah Game 7 and to see Jamal Murray versus Donovan Mitchell. For Denver to win, Nikola Jokic, Gary Harris, Paul Millsap, or Michael Porter Jr. has to step up. For Utah to win, it's on Mike Conley, Jordan Clarkson, Joe Ingles, or Rudy Gobert to step up. It's a hell of an analysis. Do you have any guess?
I feel like you're throwing a stone in the ocean and hoping one of them goes off.
This is his whole Twitter account.
Former player.
Is
it Jalen Rose?
It is not. I will read the second tweet, but to make you thinking, this man is a Hall of Famer.
Okay.
Second tweet. The Lakers better realize quick the Houston Rockets are not the Portland Trail Blazers. This guy's
Richard Jefferson?
No.
Wait. No. Wait. Bill Russell?
No, it's Magic.
Oh, come
Magic Johnson.
on.
Magic Johnson's tweets, you have to follow him. He is hysterical. I'm going to find another one of his tweets.
I used to follow him, and he just never brought any value to me.
His analysis is so funny. Here's one from yesterday. The Bucks showed some grit and mental toughness in today's earlier game, with Chris Middleton scoring 36 points to secure the first win. It's just like he's trying to write a headline for an article, but he just tweets it. Like it's so funny. So that concludes sports segments for today. It is now time for Take It. So this one's not really a debate, like we have to pick between two things. It's more of a personal preference. So we talked earlier on the show about Mario Kart, Mario Party, all of those games. And it got me thinking, if you could pick one game, and only one game, kind of like the cheese scenario, so one video game only, to play for the rest of your life, which one are you choosing? So it can be any console, any year, any series. Well, not series, game. So you can't pick like, well, I mean, you could pick 2K if you wanted to. You don't have to pick a specific year. But one game and one game only for the rest of your life, starting today.
I thought you were gonna throw in the fact like you'd have to live in that video game. Like
that would be a little dicey. Because then we both pick 2K because we'd be actually good basketball players.
So I have two. But I'll make my case on one.
Okay.
So my first one would be Fortnite because just the simple fact of like I don't know, Matt. I would hope like if I was able to play it for the rest of my life, A, I would get good.
And then, facts. Big
and
facts.
then B, it's just Fortnite gets so much flack, but it's just because it's one of those leading video games in the industry that like you're at the top of the totem pole. People are going to be trying to knock you down off of that totem pole. And just the amount of memories just based like it sucks to say, but like, yes, we've had a lot of great college memories, but I remember so much more memories based on us playing Fortnite than a little bit more with like into our college years. Like the reason why we've been so in touch with each other before we started a podcast was because we played Fortnite so much when we were both actually separated from living together.
Yeah, that's true. And we play Fortnite like almost every week. Well, we do play it every week together, like multiple times a week. So it's more like stuck in our head.
Which I'm hoping by the release of this podcast, we actually play a little bit more because we haven't played. Matt was on vacation and a new season came out too. So we got to start earning those levels and getting back to level 100 again for all those skins.
Absolutely. So is that the game that you're going to pick with?
No. So my leading game actually that I want to be a part of is a game that I have played since I believe 6th grade. It's The Sims.
Never played The Sims.
You never played The Sims?
No.
Wow.
Why'd you like it so much? Because I know a lot of people like do have a strong attachment towards it.
Yeah, I mean, I think just living life like, and you get to live life like a sim. Matt, I know you've never played it before, but it's very unique and it's much different than actually playing real life.
So
I
what
would
is
hope.
it? It's like a choose your own life type of deal?
It's like it's role playing almost. Like you basically create a character. You get sent to that, like Sims 2 specifically for the GameCube. What you had to do was you had to fulfill all of these person's tasks. But on top of that, you had to keep your relationships intact. You had to go to work on time. You had to feed yourself. You'd have to sleep. You'd have to bathe yourself. You'd have to go to the bathroom. What else you would have to do? You'd have to. Oh, what's another one that was left out?
Take the dog outside.
No, so there was like no pets until like I think Sims 3 or 4.
Oh man.
But there was so many like cool things that you could purchase, and then like I don't know, like having just the opportunity to build your own house with not really a real budget was like kind of cool to me. Like, and then with the cheat codes too, you'd be able to like get a lot of money and then be able to just go off on being able what to purchase. But it just it just was fun being able to go that day to day. Like, I mean, not that I would do this in real life, but it was like you had like one girlfriend, you married them, and then like you were having an affair with another one, and there was no true consequences with the other one. Like Matt, I think it's called the aspirations. What you had to do is like you had to marry somebody, but then if you got into a friendship with somebody, one of the aspirations was set very high, and it was based on like experience. So the higher you got, the more experience you got, like in the levels of it. Okay. And one of it was start a budding relationship with Julianne. And it's like, so you'd be either taking the risk to fulfill your aspirations, or you're kind of like, you know what, that's wrong. I'm not going to do that.
That's crazy. So they actually put like temptations in the game?
They put like temptations. Like there was even times where it was like, give so-and-so raw food or
kill people in this game?
There was a chance that you could kill people in this game.
What the hell?
You could pay the Reaper to bring back so-and-so into life. Like you could die, but then be brought back to life with the Reaper that was standing out and walking out in the front of your yard, which was like super weird, but it was super cool.
That's messed up. Grim Reaper is... I didn't know the Grim Reaper... I didn't know you could actually die and come back to life.
Right.
What, did they do like a sacrifice of like a rabbit or something?
No, you literally would have to... So as a person, you would either pay money to bring them back, or you would challenge them. And literally, it was...
like in the gulag? They had a gulag?
No, I kid you not, Matt. It was a violin contest, and it was an ode to Charli D'Amelio's The Devil Went Down to Georgia. Like, I kid you not. Like, you had to violin off for your winning of going up against the Grim Reaper. So...
That's incredible. I think I need to start playing this game.
It's not... You can get it... I feel you can get it for... I mean, it's not as, like, in-depth, but, like, you can get it for your phone, or you can get it for your iPad.
That's crazy.
Or you can get it for your Mac if you really, really want to get deep into the playing. So
that's crazy.
What about you, sir?
That. I would probably go with... I'm going to go Mario Kart. I absolutely love Mario Kart. Like, I know it's kind of the same stuff, and I might get a little bored with it, but like there's so many, like you can play with other people, and Mario Kart's one of those games where, like, if I would pick like another game, maybe not like Fortnite or something, but if I would pick like 2K, I could dominate 2K for the rest of my life. Mario Kart, if you play with other people or play different levels, depending on what you get, you could come in last every race. Like, there's a little bit more competitive balance where you might be really good at the game all the time and really bad sometimes. Like, there's a little more competitiveness in that.
Did you ever play online when Mario Kart was on the Wii?
Yeah, it's tough.
That was tough.
It was tough. It made you feel like a shitty player because those people...
Made you feel competitive.
Oh, it did. But sometimes, like, it made you see how awesome some people are at Mario Kart.
And how awful you are.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, for real.
Oh,
I actually played Mario Kart online not too long ago. I forget where I was at.
Okay.
But it was insane. I was either going to pick Mario Party, because Mario Party is so fun.
Yeah.
Any Mario game would be a good choice. If I had to pick a sport game, I'd probably pick 2K.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah. Did you see in the new 2K, apparently you can pick your own college?
I saw that.
That's
I
pretty
feel like
cool.
that's a recycle from 2K19, I think.
Something like that, yeah. A big miss. Hold on. NCAA football. If they make a new NCAA football game, I'm going to be playing that 24/7. NCAA football 14 was the best game of all time.
I wouldn't mind Tony Hawk's American Wasteland or like Tony Hawk's Underground 2 or anything
That'd be
like that.
a good one. That'd be a good one too.
Even though I don't know how to skate.
Did you ever play the Tiger Woods game on the Wii?
No.
Oh, that game was so fun.
I played Wii Golf.
Wii Golf, Wii Sports is be a good one too.
Wii Sports Resort.
Yeah, that's a good one too. I played Wii Tennis all the time. I was awesome at Wii Tennis.
I was a pro in everything.
Yeah, there was one that I wasn't too good at. Bowling was fun too.
Yeah.
Boxing was kind of tough. Wii boxing was tough. I think that's all. I can't think of any other games.
I'm trying to think something that I mean, obviously, if it was both of us thrown into a game, we'd both play Fortnite.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
Old school Call of Duty was fun. I know you didn't play that much, but
No, I didn't.
like Modern Warfare 2, that was a lot of fun. MLB The Show, maybe.
Yeah.
Or like Slugfest.
Or backyard baseball.
Any of the backyard sports, backyard football.
Yeah.
Hockey was actually fun in that too. Did you ever play backyard hockey? That
No.
was pretty cool.
Interesting.
That was very underrated.
That's interesting. So.
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto.
Never played Grand Theft Auto.
I played it once.
What about I Am Bread? Remember we used to play I Am Bread? For those that
Literally,
don't know.
yeah,
well,
go ahead.
You explain it.
It's literally this game when you are a piece of bread and you have to navigate yourself through a certain room or through a certain area, and you have to toast yourself. And you have to toast yourself perfectly, and then you become toast.
Yeah, but you have to toast yourself. You have to get yourself in the toaster.
Or anywhere that allows you to toast yourself.
Yes, like a stove
Like,
or
you had to
something
get
like that.
creative and figure out what ways you had to get toasted in some way. But
Yeah.
then it was like edibility, where you couldn't get on the floor, you couldn't get into
that's
trash cans, you couldn't. It just was. Oh.
Forgot about that. I sucked at that game. I don't think I ever beat a level.
Which, mind you, it was 4 college students gathering around the TV, watching one person trying to become toast in this game. So
It was actually fun though.
it was.
It was very fun to play.
It really, really was. So, well, if you have a favorite game, let us know in the social medias at our Funny Business accounts, Funny Business Entertainment on Facebook and Instagram, and Funny Business EN on Twitter. Matt, what else do we got going on?
I have a final thought for the day.
Go ahead.
So one of my friends texted me this today. So when you think about it, this is it's kind of out there, but it's kind of funny.
Okay.
Egg salad is technically chicken salad. When you think about it, tell me I'm wrong. Like you can't.
I'm not going to jump into it because then we're going to go another 10 minutes.
But it's like it can't. It's egg salad comes from a chicken, means it's chicken salad.
But, like, what? Why was that a
Just think
final
about
thought?
It's just like one of the things you hear about, and you're like, "Whoa! Like that's actually true. That's crazy." Thought I'd like to share it on the podcast.
Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
Well, also let us know about that too in our social media. We do try to live stream at least once a week. Matt has been trying to get his game on with Fall Guys, and you will hopefully be starting to see us now on Fortnite once again with the new season, so make sure you tune in for that. But until next time, guys, we'll see you all in the next episode.
Stay safe, everyone.